All right, we are live now. This is Indie Talk with Jesse and Jeryn, bringing you a little special Monday night episode. We got Mr. Bullybrand from Bullybrand Clothing Company. How's it going, Mr. Bullybrand?
Going great. Couldn't be better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought it would be pretty cool to get you on here to talk about the Bullybrand. And we got listeners on here right now. We're gonna have a little special announcement at the end of interviewing Mr. Bullybrand. So yeah. I think we should start off with the good beginner question of where do we have it? Just talk about how the Bullybrand company was started. What was the original idea, and just how did you come up with the name too?
Well, I mean, it's Bullybrand. It started back, the love of dogs. I've always loved the bully breeds, the Rottweilers, the Pit Bulls, the Connie Corsos. Even Chows are considered a bully breed. So my major idea is I wanted to open a shelter, a rescue, but in Minnesota, short-haired dogs die in the cold, and I'm not financially as well off as some of other people out there, from the ground up. So I decided to come up with the Bullybrand because, now we're branding people everywhere, and every shirt, hat, any merchandise we sell, I take $5 and put it away. And then if someone wants to adopt a dog versus buying from a backyard breeder or whatever the case may be, we come in and just make sure they're good owners, good dogs, and then we pay for their rehoming fees because sometimes they can be around $350.
Yeah.
My whole family loves the dogs. Bullybrand, and also, the bully breed's got a bad rap. I've always been a big dude. Used to get picked on when I was a kid until I realized the power that I held inside my mind and my body. And I decided to start fighting back. And then I'm in the tattoo community. So I'm very aggressive looking, intimidating, if you will. And the dogs are the same way. But if you treat them right, they love you forever, and they're the sweetest animals on the planet. So that's our mission, is just to save as many as we can. There's people that use dogs to literally, female dogs, they'll have them have 3 batches of puppies, and then they'll dump them on the side of a highway. They don't care. All they want is the money from the dogs. I love the dogs. I have nothing against good breeders, because every dog from the beginning of time has been bred for a reason. A lot of people don't know it, but the bull terrier, the pit bull, was actually bred to be stout because they actually caught mice in the bottom of the ships in Europe. So obviously the animals were bred in different countries and things like that. You've got the mastiffs, the big boys, the XL bullies, down to the little pocket pit bulls. But essentially they were rat catchers. They performed a service. It's like in Minnesota when people are, worried about daddy long legs. Well, guess what? Those things eat mosquitoes. So don't kill them.
Yeah. Yeah, those are scary. But
yeah, and then I have to, I'm not going to do many shout outs because I appreciate every customer, fan, company, from MAW to Steel Domain to Discover Pro Wrestling to all of them, Ironheart Pro. Everybody has been so good to us, and it really, the one of the shout outs I have to do is to my brother David Amatrano, because I was about to call it quits, on entertainment, on everything that I was doing in the past, marketing and all that stuff, because things didn't go the way I wanted them to necessarily. And it's another story for never, that's just something that is between me and the creator. But I messaged him and told him that, hey, I'm done. I'm going to go get a regular job, be a regular guy, look for that white picket fence, that kind of shit. And verbatim, David texted me, he said, fuck no, bro. He's like, you're not made for that kind of stuff. And then him, Eli, and Brian offered to allow Bullybrand to come to any one of their shows and sell for the dogs. And for that, I can't express I can't express the gratitude for that. And then also, like, all these other independent wrestling companies have done the same thing, to allow me, even though a lot of it's with the sponsorships with the wrestlers that I do. You know, I've never once had anybody, you know, try and charge us to be there, or, you know, question what we're doing. So, like, the wrestling community, like, that's why we're at all the shows, is because we have nothing but love for them. And a lot of the wrestlers and owners are dog people. Mitch Paradise, for instance, him and Love. I've never had the pleasure of speaking with them, like, one-on-one in a real conversation, just kind of, hey, how you doing, in passing. But, you know, they have an animal thing out in Elko. I forget the name of it, but forgive me. But, you know, like, that's just one to name a few, you know, and it's just, it's a great thing that all this love is coming from every single angle. And, you know, like I said, you know, we're just a little family business. Like, you'll see my nieces and nephews, my mom, my grandma come to these shows to help set up, help tear down, help make sales. And of course they get to enjoy the show too. But just that we have that is just, that's what it's all about. That's what Bullybrand is. It's about family. It's about relating to people. It's about not looking like your normal definition of beautiful, but knowing you're beautiful on the inside, and just embracing that and letting people know who you are and what you do, regardless if it's positive or negative, because you know who you are. And that's all that matters.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's definitely a great way to put it. I think it's just a great thing that you guys are doing. And I think, I don't remember exactly what show I first saw you at, but I remember the first show I saw you, I'm like, this really cool setup, really cool cause when I first talked to you about it. And I think just, it's definitely skyrocketing, like you said. I think it's going international and still in the States. So yeah.
And then I guess I should mention the, you know, it's not just the independent community, because NXT, Starlet, I don't even know how to say it. I'm not into the super wrestling lingo yet. I'm getting there, but I'm not fully into Gorge. But Tiffany Stratton, she's been kind enough to tag us in a few things. Awesome, you know. And you know, down at the academy, like Ken Anderson and his wife Anastasia, those guys have never been like, you can't be here, like coming down to hang out with like Rampage and stuff like that, you know. So that's just, you know, we've got these names. And then, you know, we had Larry Zabisco out at the Back Channel Brewery. We got Tito Santana coming to the Women of the Nations. Next weekend is Scott Hall, or excuse me, God, you know, rest in peace, Scott Hall. But I mean, Kevin Nash is going to be at the casino. And then Sergeant Slaughter is going to be in Wisconsin. Like, MAW with all that stuff, and, you know, the ability to help out with that kind of stuff and not have to, you know, outsource for that's a good thing, because any money I make from any of those, you know, well, except the Women of the Nations, any money made from Tito Santana is going to them. Even though, you know, my appearance is pretty much, you know, I look like straight Caucasian, my heritage is Cherokee Indian, and, you know, that's David's my brother, Terry Goodsky, you know, those guys also have embraced me when I found myself and found out who I am. So, like, you know, there's just so much going on. It's amazing. I don't know what to say. We're talking to a couple wrestlers that wrestle in Australia. We've got guys that are about to go, like, they have things set up that they're about to go somewhere. So y'all better pay attention. especially because, you know, we'll be doing more of these. So maybe you'll get some spoiler alerts or something if you tune in.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, I've been keeping up with the just people that have been tagging the Bully brand, and it's got to be awesome. The Tiffany Stratton from NXT doing they're tagging your stuff, wearing the shirts, and one wrestler I saw before what also was I don't know if I'm gonna pronounce it the right way, but it's Rika Tahaka when she was at MAW, and I was like, that's really awesome.
Yeah, that she is a class act. I will say that right now. Like, it's one of the first, you know, the first ladies that ever wore the shirts and took the pictures was Blonde Force Trauma at the last year's Women of the Nations. And then the first guy that ever got a Bullybrand shirt and actually wore it and stuff like that was Steel Domain's heavyweight champ, Garrison Creed. Shout out, dude. You know, he's mending himself up and everything. Him and Steph have been through some stuff, but like they're marching on like soldiers should. But yeah, Rika, she's on the was it the Women of Wrestling or now the WoW? Like that chick is awesome. She was kind instantly. There was no attitude, no I'm who I am, blah blah blah. She was very nice, and that was a great meetup there. I think that was in I want to say Faribault.
Yeah, I think it was terrible. I think from when I remember the poster, but yeah, it's really cool. Or how did you and David get started in talking to each other?
Well, as everybody knows, me and my big bro Steve Pepin put on the Wilmer Mania every year. So now there's going to be a little disclaimer before this because I am a positive person and I don't believe in being negative. However, I just, you know, I'm going to tell you how it happened, just flatline, you know, no filter, is that the first Wilmer Mania we put on, we worked with AEW, Tony DiNucci, and he put on the show. The wrestlers were awesome and everything like that. I will not speak evil because Tony is a nice guy. He is a nice guy, but our views on business differ. So then David had contacted me and said, hey, if you guys want to do some shows or whatnot, you know, he actually started off by inviting me to some shows and it was just kind of random. But then, you know, he messaged me about Wilmer Mania and, you know, I talked it over with Steve and, you know, we were like, all right, let's go. And the promotion, the business, the talent, the willingness to work with us on a lot of different things is why Wilmer Mania 2 or 2.0, Wilmer Mania 3, and then Wilmer Mania 4 that's coming this year. It's going to be the weekend after WrestleMania. We're doing it at the Civic Center. This is one of your spoiler alerts. Whoever's tuned in, I hope you are happy about this because Wilmer Mania 4 is going to be at the Wilmer Civic Center. Now, nothing is signed, sealed, and stamped, so this is not a promotion. This is just letting you know what the plan is that we're going to not only have wrestling, but we're going to have a WrestleCon. Oh, okay. So the Wilmer Civic Center, you know, it's a hockey rink, holds, you know, 4,000 people in a dry show. We're going to put the wrestling ring in the middle. And then we're going to have a WrestleCon, and then we'll probably have some good food in there. I mean, there'll be a bunch of different stuff, but, you know, that's the most I can give you right now. But I know there's a lot of, well, how's that go? Wilmer Maniacs? Yeah. You know, that love that stuff. So, you know, and, you know, Steve, this last Wilmer Mania, you know, he was like, we're going to do it for the community of Wilmer. So we opened the doors. It was free event. The con, I can't guarantee that because there's a lot more costs when you're bringing in, you know, a bunch of different superstars, and, you know, from AEW to WWE to WWF, trademark. There's a lot of there's a lot of stuff going on that, you know, costs a lot of money. You know, it's not going to be an outrageous thing, but there probably will be a cost. And I mean, it's not going to be a big cost, but I mean, it's going to be a great show. I mean, look at this last one. We had like 1,034 people in there. You know, Relentless Inc., Pep's Barbershop, and Bullybrand. You know, we did the thing, and you know, most of my appreciation goes to David, Eli, Brian, and Steve, because you know, Steve likes to say that, you know, I'm the brain and he's the machine, so we work together good. So as far as Wilmer Mania goes, yeah, wait for the promotions.
Okay. Yeah.
Next question.
Next question here. You guys that don't know what's up. Yeah. Dustin's Mr. Bullybrand is getting.
You can call me either or. I mean, like, okay. The Mr. Bullybrand thing, like, bunch of people that like don't know me personally have started using that moniker. So I was like, hey, I like that. It makes me feel like wearing a brimmed hat and smoking a cigar, Mr. Bullybrand.
Yeah. Oh, that was started by a fan that did that? That wasn't you?
Yeah, it really was. You know, it was I can't remember the fan's name, but like it was someone that I had met before, and like I think they just didn't remember my name. And they was like, hey, Mr. Bullybrand, come here. And I was just like, oh yeah. And that's the best kind of moniker you can have, is one that fans give you. Let's go. All right, that's cool. At least it wasn't something dumb.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that Mr. Bullybrand, I hope that definitely sticks with you and definitely gets you recognized at these shows. So yeah. Want to look over the comments here. I know we got a couple people that just responded with the fire emojis from Mr. Joseph Alexander of the Summit.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Summit's always been a very supportive tag team on here, watching our shows, and we've watched their stuff, and yeah.
That's because they love I just met them this last weekend, like in person versus the interweb. Yeah, those guys are awesome. Great workers is what they would say, or not what they would say, but is the lingo for it. They do great work, and class acts too. I mean, like, it was so great because they had fans on. It was on Sunday in Wisconsin. Like, they had fans there, and you know, they were the heels of the match. But like, something I've told a lot of the wrestlers that I work with, the most successful wrestlers are not heels, they're not faces. What they are anti-heroes. Stone Cold, The Rock, John Cena, like all the major names, they're not a face or a heel. They're a bad attitude that the fans love, which is awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's anti-heroes are always the guys to cheer for, because I mean they're doing what they got to do, and especially you can't really say anything bad about Stone Cold and his persona. So
no, not at all. Like he owned that character. I don't know. I may be a little older than everybody else, but I mean, I remember Steve Austin from way back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
So like, you know, all of his characters were legit, but then when I guess, to be politically correct, when the E took over and like helped create that character for him, like he owned it, and he still owns it to this day, even though, you know, he missed it was the worst stunner I've ever seen in my life at WrestleMania, but we won't talk about that.
Yeah, we could probably skip that. That was quite something. So,
but tell me I'm wrong.
No, I can't.
No, you're not wrong.
I watched it live on Peacock. I'm like, that is garbage. What is and Vince has been doing it for 20 years. How did he botch it? So,
Right.
yeah. Well, I guess that just happens when you get older, and maybe he was nervous on the stage as well. So I guess we can never know. But yeah, still, it's got to be up there with the worst stunner ever. So yeah, not from Stone Cold, from Vince though. So
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Looking here, Josh Marinus. He
Oh,
said,
Mr. Marinas.
Marinus. He says, I want a booth and a wrestling match versus Steve Pepin and yourself, surprise partner in my corner.
Man, what do you mean surprise? You know you're bringing tips.
Oh man. Yeah, good comment there from Josh. Comments are going pretty fast here. I might have missed a few, but
Nice, keep coming, people.
yeah. Oh, and we also got Mr. Derek Fury on Instagram here. He says, "Hell yeah!" So
yeah,
Derek.
oh, Derek. Mm-hmm.
Good old Derek.
Mm-hmm. We actually had if you guys want to go watch it back, we had the Summit versus the Bad Role Models Zoom Live / Instagram Live face off on here. So go watch that. I should link it up on the page because that was the last show I had on my personal profile. But you guys know how to find that. Go find it, and sometime I'll go link it on the Facebook as well, or the Facebook page as well. So yeah, both teams had a lot to say. So
well, yeah, the Bad Role Models are talking trash. And ironically, I'm probably one of the only people you've had on so far that we ain't gonna hear nothing out of So Fresh.
oh yeah, he's been pretty vocal with stuff too. So yeah.
By the way, congratulations to him on his first singles match the other night.
Yeah.
Yep, he definitely did pretty good.
Yeah, I gotta go see if I can watch or see pictures from that. But yeah, that's definitely cool that he was able to have his first singles match and live out his wrestling career. So yeah. And I believe even before the show, he was part of that. I don't know what the name of it was, but it was some kind of parade that MEW was in, and he and Nick Pride almost got into it. So
oh yeah, the Isle Days parade.
Isle Day, yeah. Yeah, so that was quite interesting to see pictures from awesome indulging disorderly. So
right, yeah. Which, by the way, if you guys see her at a show now, you'll notice that the only person that could get her to change her old hat up is Mr. Bullybrand. You'll notice that she's got a Bullybrand flex fit on when she's taking pictures now. By the way, thank you, Drake.
Yeah, definitely a great shout out to Drake of Indulging Disorderly. Does a lot of great work and a proud supporter of the Bullybrand. So yeah. Looking on the comments here, Sky Jennings, she says, "Love you, brother. Super proud of you." So
yeah, that's my sister. She is actually when we revamped Bullybrand, she and I both are the ones that put in the money for the first load of shirts. She's been working a lot, and then her and Jesse do race car stuff, and now she's in the medical field. So, she's super busy, but she's coming back. Another spoiler alert, if you're at the casino show, we've got a limited number of Bullybrand tumblers, which will come out. I'll share some pictures sometime this week, possibly Friday, but we'll have those there. It's one of her passions. She likes to create, so she does that. So we're going to do some just basic logo ones, the crowd pleasers. And then, when we get down the road, you might just see some Team Bully tumblers with the whole crew on there, but, stay tuned.
Okay. Yeah. Was she the one that also did the MEW wrestler tumblers too, or?
She is not. I'm not
Oh,
quite sure
no.
who did that, and like,
Yeah.
but I have seen them. They are amazing. If you guys are down with MAW, I think I seen an MAW one. I seen a Warriors one. The champ, the system's on there. Don't trust the system.
Uh-oh. Don't trust the system, guys. Heard right here from Mr. Bullybrand. So, mhm. Yeah. But yeah, I think I saw those tumblers too, and it's great that Sky that she's doing the now Bullybrand or yeah, separate from the other thing, but yeah, that's great that she's doing Bullybrand tumblers. So yeah. Jesse.
So what is your favorite wrestler that is working with you right now?
Oh man, you're gonna have dudes at each other's throats right now. Well, first, I guess I'll introduce, like, because there's a ton of wrestlers that support Team Bully.
Right.
We have the Team Bully, which is basically they're supporting us, we're supporting them. And then also with my past history, working on developing the business aspect of indie wrestling for people, because like when I come into these shows, like there's a lot of stuff guys need to learn, and that's not throwing salt on anybody, but you know, this is their livelihood. You know, I'm sure they get decently paid from all the promotions. I don't know what a wrestler gets paid, but you know, they have fans, and you know, it's real great. Your performance is something that they'll remember for a while, but if they have something physical to take home with them and look at and use and wear, you know, that's a big thing. And yeah, it does take a budget, but the only way you can be successful is investing in yourself. So basically right now on Team Bully, you know, of course, everybody knows Rampage Santana, Mr. Slammy Davis Jr., the Blue Chip, you know, the Young Bull, you know, shout out Ram House. But, you know, that one too, I gotta shout out State of Pro Wrestling, because when I came in here and was just selling stuff, like I had no intentions of sponsoring wrestlers or anything like that. Didn't even know it was a thing. But John over there messaged me and asked me, have you ever thought about sponsoring a wrestler? And I was like, no, never really crossed my mind. And then he told me about Rampage being trained by the Gagnes, you know, the last of the Gagne line. And I live on Lake Minnetonka, grew up here, like Vern and Greg and them, their ice fishing house was literally 100 yards from my Uncle Dickie's. So like, you know, I'm well versed with all the AWA wrestlers from back in the day, because they're all from the area. Like Sergeant Slaughter's from my hometown too, you know. So I was like, all right, I'm kind of interested, and like I just kind of let it marinate, and then all of a sudden this you know, young 22-year-old kid messages me and is like, hey, how do I get a shirt? And I'm thinking to myself, well, you know, is he fishing, or you know, has he talked to State of Pro Wrestling, or you know, what's going on? So we just started chatting. Freaking, you know, cool dude, wide-eyed, you know, he's a little wet behind the ears when it comes to life and everything, but that's being young. But as far as his heart, his desire, his dedication to the sport, his willingness to try new things, like, let me tell you what, this boy has sent me messages of like 75 different wrestling outfits. He's like, I want to change my look. And, you know, I think we've landed on one. So be on the lookout for Rampage Santana's new look. And then, you know, to keep it moving. I've always, Moses Mayhem. What can I say about that guy? He was at the first WrestleMania. That's when I met him. And then after the show, he went above and beyond, at least in my book, he did, because there was a little autistic boy that was there. And, you know, he was just kind of off, you know, by himself and whatnot. And Moses, you know, took some time and went and spent some time with this kid, and like you know, not to sound sissy, or I'm trying not to use bad language, but you know, like that really melted my heart that he did that. And I've stayed in contact with him, you know, even though he took an hiatus from wrestling to move forward with his wife and family.
Right.
Which, by the way, they're going to have a baby, so that's going to be awesome. But he's decided he wants to come back and put a death stamp of his legacy at MAW. So I'm telling everybody that's watching this, if you guys want to see Moses Mayhem, he wants to do the MAW shows because he is on a run and won't stop until he's never forgotten there. So message David, message Eli, message Brian, you know, post it on Facebook, tag Moses, because we want him back. And, you know, this, if anybody's been following it, him and the real Drago, just the Russian terror, that guy is like, you know, him and Moses got the beef, but like every time they get involved with each other, you know, people get flighty, and all of a sudden here comes security. We can't let them do this, you know, and then they get separated. And it's like, come on, this last one at the lift bridge, like, man, I was so pumped for that. And then all of a sudden, you know, things went haywire. Oh, there's meat going everywhere. They're knocking out security, all that stuff. So I don't know when the next truck stop is for the Mack truck, but I do know it's coming soon. And if you guys want to make it sooner, even if it's not with Drago, you know, send the messages, tag him, tag Moses Mayhem and MAW together. Tell them that you want him back, because I want him back. Like that guy, he's got the biggest frame on the team, and he's got the biggest heart to match it. So moving on from there, I got the problem, you know. We when I posted it, you know, we said that you know, over here at Bullybrand, we don't have a problem, we have the problem. Mr. Paul Verk. Paul, it's so funny because like he's such a nice guy, but he can be the baddest man on the planet. I've seen it. You know, watch that Discover Pro Wrestling program that's on YouTube now. You know, shout out to Eric. You know, he puts on a hell of a show up there in Duluth. Like, it was awesome. But, you know, Paul came out and he was beating people down, and like, you know, he just laid the wood on everybody. And that's when my eyes were like, oh man, like Paul's a bad mofo. Like, as much as, you know, he's a nice guy in person and stuff like that, like, he will hurt you. And he has hurt people, and he will continue to hurt people. And then we've got Christina Von Erie. She hasn't been a whole lot publicized yet because she's out in California doing a lot of stuff. Make no mistake about it, she is on the team. How she ended up on the team, like, honestly, Christina Von Erie is the first person in wrestling as a talent that every show that I saw her at, she actually greeted me. Now, that may not mean much to a lot of people, but I am one of those guys, like, first impressions, but continued impressions is what makes your mark on people. If you don't have the consistency, you know, you look like a schmuck, because it's like, oh yeah, they said what up that one time, but that was just politicking, you know. And she didn't do that. Like, every time I seen her, greeted me. We sold merch next to each other a few times, you know. Again, at the Discover Pro Wrestling thing, she was up there with I can't remember who the guy she was with, but they did like the intergender match. I believe it was against Joey Alpha, or oh shoot, I'm sorry, not Joey Alpha. Big Joey with the shovel. I'm sorry, Joey.
Avalon.
Yes, Joey Avalon. Okay, their names are too close together. But yeah, that was an awesome match. And like, you know, we sat and sold merch next to each other. And that's another thing at the shows is you know, the wrestlers that don't take cards or can't take cards or haven't gotten there yet, like, any of them are welcome. I'll take their card. All I do is charge the service fee, and then I pay them out cash.
Mhm.
you know, because I get charged like it's like $2 per transaction. So I just have the fans say, you know, if you want to use your card, it's going to be $2 extra. And then I don't take any money out of their pocket. It's just, you know, obviously I'm not going to pay for service fees for, you know, money that I'm not making. I mean, I'm a good dude, but you know, I'm not Mother Teresa over here.
Yeah.
So then the newest edition, I mean, he pretty much introduces himself. I mean, if you haven't heard of you know, the real McCoy JDX, you know, he's on the team now too. He made his drew his line in the sand, you know, coming out as, well, let me see. I think he's the only wrestler that I've seen that has declared a company. You know, he wrestles all over the place, but when he came back to Minnesota, he said, I'm MAW.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I'm not going to get into those politics because, you know, I learned a lot about, you know, the different sides of wrestling and whatnot. But it really goes to his character that, you know, he stood behind what he said. You know, he came, and instead of being like, oh man, I need to play nice with everybody, otherwise I'm not going to get bookings. He said, I like this company. I love this company. I am with this company. As far as like, you know, just making the statement, because he wrestles all over the place from Atlanta to Minnesota. Me, him, and Rampage are going, well, me, Rampage, and JDX, I should say, are going to the Black Wrestlers Matter event in Chicago on September 2nd. So look out for that. If there's anybody who wants to help sponsor Rampage and JDX down there, hit me up. I mean, I've pretty much got most of it covered, but, you know, every little bit helps because we are driving to Chicago. You know, whatever they get compensated has nothing to do with me. I'm simply going down there to support and, of course, move the brand down there and try and, you know, get Chicago on the list.
Right.
And right now, I mean, that's Team Bully. I mean, Tiffany Stratton, obviously, she has a contract, so she is a very great supporter. She's never told me I couldn't tag her in anything like that. Her WWE profile on Instagram, which, you know, love her for that. You know, no one really has said anything like that, but like, I am not trying to screw up anyone's deal. Like, if it's a point where I'm contractually obligated, you know, they own the rights to the name or whatever it is, y'all just need to let me know, because I am not about that. I appreciate the support, but I am not trying to jeopardize anybody's, you know, their lifeblood, their well-being or anything like that. Speaking of, kind of a little segue or whatever, I do have to shout out, I can't say Rohit Raju, the Dragon. That guy, super cool. Him and Rampage had a match. I met him. Messaged him. He said, hell yeah. Gave me his address. I sent him out a shirt. He's rocking the shirt, tagged us in it, which is awesome because he's all over the place too. And the dude's just buffed. Like, I mean, he's not very tall, but that dude is jacked. And like, especially after taking that, if anyone was there at the match at Turtle Lake, you know, after taking that waterfall of slams from Rampage, he still managed to get the W against him. It was a sight to be seen.
Yeah. I think I might have seen pictures from that. I wasn't at that event, but yeah, definitely Rohit's definitely doing a lot of cool stuff. So yeah. And I guess this is a shout out and information about the Black Wrestlers Matter event. I think that's a good thing to promote. So Black Wrestlers Matter BWM presents Blackout Friday, September 2nd at the Logan Square Auditorium in Chicago, Illinois. Doors 6 p.m. and you can get information at blackWrestlersMatter.BigCartel.com. So shout out to BWM right there.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Just go through comments here. Oh, we got going back to the system thing. Mr. Real Drago says trust the system and trust in the rising. So yeah.
I don't speak English.
Yeah, that's definitely how you act.
Fine.
Yeah, yeah. Good old Drago trying to stir stuff up in here.
I
now.
know, right? You know, hey, if you guys want to see something crazy, message MAW and tell them you want to see Team Bully on and the Rising in like a 8-man tag or something like that, or you know, make it a no rules match or something. Get them all in the ring. We'll see what's up with the Rising.
The rising. Yeah, yeah. I'm surprised Drago is a part of the rising. He claims he's part of the rising. So yeah, I think that's
Yeah, he's on that, but I mean, you can tell by his pictures that deep down in his heart, you know, he's Team Bully Russia because he's got the shirt.
Yeah. Yeah, we can't. Drago can't fool anybody. So yeah, maybe you both. So yeah. Um. I think you might have covered it, but like how you talked with David becoming a part of going to MAW shows, but like why specifically choose going to independent wrestling shows to create merch and merch for rehoming the bully breeds?
Man, I gotta say that I've been in all the industries. I did music for like 20 years. I've been in television. I've been in movie stuff. I've been in all that stuff. But I will tell you right now, and this is completely unbiased to what I'm doing now, but professional wrestling fans are the greatest fans in the world, hands down. Like that can't be denied. Look at the stats from this last year's Super Bowl versus WrestleMania. That's all there is to it. Like WrestleMania had like, what was it, like 3 to 5 times more viewership than the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You know? And wrestling fans are dedicated. They're loyal. You know, they support, like the support system, just traveling with these guys, you know, seeing these people that Lord knows where they're from, but they're at all these wrestling shows to support these guys. And I know, like, from a fan's aspect, you know, a lot of these people, they support these guys. And what happens when these guys blow up? Like, they were there from the ground floor. You know, this is where it's important. Supporting these guys right now is what's important. Not when they're in the WWE, not when they're on NXT, not when they're in AEW. Right now, when they're an independent, is when the support is needed, number one. Number two, this is when the support's remembered. They're going to remember way back when they had 5 fans that came to every single show. They're going to remember that. Don't even get it twisted. I did independent music, and I still remember the shows where I had 5 fans. But guess what? They showed out for me. They talked with me. They bought my merch. They did all that stuff because they knew that something good was going to happen. And, you know, in the music stuff, that's another story for another time. But like, you know, I work with a lot of musicians from country music to hip hop, especially hip hop, to metal, all that stuff. And like, you know, there might be some surprise people coming out to some of these shows eventually because, you know, now that the brand is taking off, not necessarily because the brand is taking off, but now that I have the more of the juice, like all these people that like never thought would, you know, give me the time of day again, that I just talked to over the years or shows and whatnot, like they're coming out of the woodworks, and that's awesome. And that's not because I'm becoming successful. That's because they're happy to see what's happening with the brand, period, point blank.
Yeah. It's definitely awesome that they're supported you from the beginning. They're still supporting you, and yeah, nobody's just hopping on the bandwagon or anything either, just because you're popular. So yeah. Jesse.
So, what if people want to donate to your cause for saving pit bulls and that? How would they go about doing that?
If you want to donate, buy the merch.
Yep.
I am not a nonprofit, and I do accept donations at shows and stuff like that, but that's not my main goal because I'm not a nonprofit. I do what I want to do with my money, and what I want to do is rehome dogs and save them. Will there be a nonprofit in the future? Perhaps. But right now, I fuel everything for Bullybrand with merch sales and my 9-to-5 job, because believe it or not, Mr. Hollywood over here still works a 9-to-5 job. Like, I work 40 hours a week, sometimes 60 hours a week. But that's because I want this to happen. I want to move forward with stuff. I want to leave a legacy of Bullybrand. I want my nieces and nephews to be running Bullybrand in the next 5 to 10 years. I want them to have this, whether it's worldwide, national, or just Minnesota, the tri-state area, doesn't matter. I want to leave something behind that means something to me and that can continue on with the family.
Right.
If you want to donate to something, we work with a group called Project Delta. They are a nonprofit. ProjectDelta.com. What they do is they pair service animals. Well, not sir. Excuse me. Let me rephrase. They pair rescued animals, dogs, with veterans and EMTs that have extreme PTSD, and they work with both of them so both of them can come back into society, because neither one of them, can hang. Like, not hang, like that's not derogatory, but because of the things that they did, they need extra help. And I am a firm believer in that. A lot of my family's military. I couldn't be military because I've got some underlying medical conditions, whatever. But I always take my hat off to a serviceman, even police officers, fire department, paramedics, every single one of them, because they do stuff that most of us would cringe at.
Right.
My uncle in Colorado, Justin, he was on the SWAT team in Colorado. I'm not going to say the city or anything like that. But he had to leave his job because of PTSD. And I hope he doesn't mind that I say that, because there's no reason to be ashamed for any of that. There's no reason to not talk about it. Like, I understand what it does to people, but he served. Like, he was a part of a SWAT team, like, next to overseas and fighting in wars. Like, that's as hot as it's going to get. And, so for all those guys, so make sure to check out Project Delta. I first got introduced to Project Delta by one of my big bros. I got extended family with the Order of Ronin MC, the motorcycle club out of North Minneapolis, who does endless amounts of donations and fundraisers, and they give out coats in the winter. Like, they just do tons of things. And they roll right with that, because Bullybrand's all about stopping that stigma of the bad dog, the bad people. You ride a motorcycle. Oh man, we watch Sons of Anarchy. It's like, come on, people, get with that. They donate more money than most people make in a year. So I mean, at the yearly motorcycle run that my guy Donovan, he coordinated. This is the second year, at that one motorcycle run, they've made, I think it was around $3,000 that went straight to Project Delta, because the cost to rehabilitate someone with PTSD with those rescue dogs is about $10,000 per team. So if you want to donate money to something, donate it to that. If you want to help Bullybrand, I will take your donations, but I want you to have something. I don't want you to just give me your hard-earned money. I want to give you something in return. So buy a shirt, buy a hat, buy a beanie, buy one of these tumblers, you know, buy your kid one of the little stuffed puppies at the show. I mean, like, that's the thing, is that, you know, donations, you know, they can be backhanded, but to come and purchase a product that you're going to proudly wear makes me feel that I am earning the savior of these dogs.
Right.
Mhm. Yeah. And I think one of your things that's definitely really popular at events, because I always hear it, is the cowbells you got there. Those things are
Yeah.
definitely
Every
so-
single wrestler told me, they said, that's not going to work. Someone else tried it. And I told them, watch, by the end of summer, you're going to go to shows that all you're going to hear is the cowbells.
Mhm.
Man, if you watch the Wilmer Mania show on Fight TV,
Mhm.
half the show, that's all you can hear is them cowbells ringing. So, ha, ha, ha. Never doubt Mr. Bullybrand, because if you say I can't do it, guess what? I'm going to do it twice over.
Yep. Yeah. I'm surprised somebody told you that it wouldn't work, because I mean, cowbells, kids usually love things that make some kind of sound, whether it's
Right.
or
And
anything. So, yeah.
they love the stuff because, you know, like when I sell them, you know, I'm not gonna lie, man, I'm a salesman. Like, you know, the puppies and the bells and the free stickers, you know, that's not on accident. You know, I love kids and the t-shirts and stuff like that, but you know, those spice items is, you know, what gets them to come look in the first place. And then when I tell them, you know, because they're like, what are those for? And I'm like, those are for when your favorite wrestler that's in the ring does something awesome, you ding that cowbell, you let them know you're out there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think that's definitely a great way to go about it, because then kids will definitely want to use it. So, yeah. I know we talked about like the wrestlers that are on the Bullybrand team, but is there any other non-wrestling personnel that are on the Bullybrand team?
Oh, my whole family.
Oh.
My whole family's on there. We just I just sent some things out, and I sent her a voice message, but in jolly old England, it's like 3 a.m. or something like that. But I'm just her name is Leanne. She lives in Dover, England, and she has an XL female bully. And basically it was just kind of a chat up, is what they call it over there, because she's very pretty and whatnot. And then I seen the picture of the dog, and I was like, oh yeah, like at the very least, I'm going to send this girl a couple things, just because, you know, one, it'll spread the brand, but like, man, I'll be driving by parks and I'll pull over when I see someone with a pit bull. I'll jump out and give them a shirt, give them a hat. Because I mean, that's another thing the brand's about, is like, you know, you can see someone with a dog and you can see if that dog is well maintained and loved. And when I see that, instantly hit the brakes. Like, I've stopped traffic to give someone a t-shirt, and that's no lie. I know they say if there's no video, it didn't happen. Well, stay tuned. Maybe there might be a video sometime.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, we did just, we're up to 8 dogs that we've rehomed, because of you, the fans that have purchased the items from me and made that happen for loving families. You know, we've got, let's see, my first rescue has just turned 13 on the 4th of July. My Marley. And then my sister has Nova. Nova's a pocket bully. We've got Maxzilla, which a lot of people got to see at the Lift Bridge Brewery. The Diesel was inside, but Mac was outside at the end of the show. And one thing about the dogs that we have personally for our family, all of our rescues are service or comfort animals. They are licensed. They are not considered pets. So that's why we can bring them to any show that we want to, if we really want to. I'm not a bully, but you know, like, as long as it's not a big conflict of interest with people, because technically they cannot be denied anywhere because they have the license. But, you know, I'm not trying to make a bunch of waves, but, you know, for people to see the dogs, touch the dogs, interact with the dogs, I mean, that's just, you know, another thing we're all about. The weekend on July 23rd, we'll be at the Spirit of the Lakes festival in Mound, Minnesota, my hometown. We're going to be in the parade. We're going to be giving stuff out. We're going to be walking the dogs, and then we'll be there all weekend selling merch there. Sorry, wrestling world. Like it's a hometown thing. So I know there's great shows that I'm going to miss out on, but this is like a family event. This is a chance to help out the community there, because, you know, we're all about the community as well. That was the back channel brewery thing. Josh Letty and those guys, great people. Like, they're doing a couple like benefit shows for like the food shelf and all sorts of other stuff. Really great people. I just met him when we were doing the show, but we've been in contact ever since. Class act guy. You know, y'all seen him wrestle too, so
Yeah.
he actually went down to the academy and trained with Rampage and System and Ken. So like, when people see the MAW shows and they see the special guests, which is usually like the owner of a business or, you know, someone in the local area, don't make a mistake about it. Those people do a few training sessions at the Academy of Pro Wrestling, which, by the way, you know, if you're an aspiring wrestler and you have the commitment to it, because don't get it twisted, it is not an easy thing. I've watched these boys work out. I have watched them go through the paces. I have watched Ken Anderson teach. If you're not serious about it, don't do it. But if you are serious about it and you're in Minnesota, I mean, that's the place to be, because they're turning out champs left and right. Great guys, great atmosphere down there too. And then, you know, so, and then also, Caitlin Diamond is down there too. I don't really know her role at the academy, but I've seen her helping with the wrestlers during some training stuff. She's a great person, even though she's Canadian. No, shout out to Canada. I love Canada. We'll be in Canada eventually here, but yeah, it's just a little side joke. She's an awesome person. Very blunt and straightforward, which I love, because a lot of people will know about me that I don't spare feelings when it comes down to the truth, because I'd rather tell you the truth and hurt your feelings than tell you a lie and then have you find out that it wasn't the truth later. And that's just me. Love me or hate me, that's just the way I am.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a very important thing to be as a person. Yeah. And yeah, also shout out to two celebrity guys that have trained at the academy for like 1-time or 2-time matches. Mr. Brad Vigas from the Nerd and Out Con. He trained at the academy to face like System in some kind of tag team match last
6-man tag.
Yeah, the 6-man tag. So
that's awesome. We're gonna be at that this year. I'm pumped for that. I am a nerd to the fullest.
Yeah,
I can't wait for that one. I'll definitely be there for that one too.
Yeah, I know that's always definitely been a big event. And last year Scott Steiner was there, the Barbarian, and this a bunch of really cool guys. So yeah,
I'm excited. I seen the promotions for it last year, and like it was like, oh, that's awesome. You know, it's not too far away. But at that time, I was all over the place. So like things weren't there yet. So this year, like, I cleared my schedule for the entire summer for wrestling events, because that's what I want to do this summer. You know, who knows where I'll be next summer. I mean, we'll always have Bullybrand with the wrestling. We'll always have it. But, you know, I'm not sure that I'll be able to be at every single one of them. We'll have a team definitely all the time. But there's a lot of stuff going on with wrestlers I'm working with wrestlers I'm not working with. You know, this whole overseas thing is just awesome. I've always aspired to travel. That's like the last thing I haven't done on my bucket list. And like, so if there's any promoters out there with what is it, the United Kingdom Pro Wrestling, Scotland, all that stuff, book Team Bully, because I want to go and see the stuff and maintain those guys, and I want my travel covered.
Yeah, you're a big time star. You gotta have your travel covered now. So.
Well, no, see, that's the whole part, is I want to broker the deal, because even if I couldn't go, I still want to see my guys over there. But like, if I broker the deal, it's their travel plus their tour manager. Because if we do go to Europe, like I've learned in music, because a lot of things that I learned, one is people in the US, or like, for instance, the guys that were just here from Australia for like a month. In Europe, we would go over there for a tour and do like a show in the Netherlands, and then a show in Spain, and then a show in Germany. It would be like a month-long affair, because that's how they booked like tours over there, because they bring you over there, and then you do that month-long string of tours, and they set it up, and they cover your expenses, and then they pay the wrestlers. I don't care if I get paid, because I'll find a way to get Bullybrand shipped to me over there, and I'll make my own money. But like, being able to go over there and just make sure that my guys don't get Zuckerberg.
Oh.
By some smooth talking Italians and stuff like that. I got to keep my guys on point, because we got a mission here, and oh, by the way, like, I have to mention this because we're live or whatever, but like, one of the biggest feathers in my cap lately is there has been comments going around about Team Bully coming into the independent world like the NWO. Shout out, man. It's for life. And like, I'm not boasting or bragging, but really that one, kind of gave me a semi.
I mean, I guess a good beat being is that, but I mean, you're still that. Yeah. Well, you didn't implode like the NWO, so it's good. So.
Right.
Yeah. Where we? Oh, Mr. Little shout out here. Shout out to Wrestling Gone Wild promoter Tom Burdick. He says hi, guys. So
hey, Tom, how are you enjoying the Team Bully member as your champion, Rampage Santana? Well, actually, when he was up there, it was Montana Santana. He's from Louisiana.
Oh, is that what the deal was with the
yeah,
and everything?
It's something because that's one thing I like about the guys on the team, and Christina's. They're showmen or show women or show people. Like, and if you look at the pictures, I don't care what anybody says, Rampage pulled that look off. I mean, I'm not one for the cowboy hat, but like, he made that work. He came out looking like he was about to ride a bull, not wrestle.
Yeah, he's definitely done pretty good with this character. Well, I mean, he's only used it a few times, but I guess like character invention and just like adding things to be in Rampage Santana, whether it's like a one-time thing or just keep going. So, but
I mean, he's versatile. He there's a reason why he does all that different stuff, is because he can pretty much pull off any character. Like, even as a heel, as youthful and as pretty as he is, like he pulls off the heel look well. Like, I mean, not just the look, but the demeanor and whatnot. And, all that is just preparation for, when he gets called up to the show, because I firmly believe, everybody on Team Bully here has a shot to be somewhere else, like other than the independent scene. And that's part of where, if I can add my 2 cents in there, that's great. Because if I can say, hey, see that guy that's on the WWE? Yeah, he was with Team Bully. I helped with that. And it's not even going to be a taking credit, none of that shit, but just to be a part of somebody's story. I mean, that's worth more than any money.
Right. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. It's really cool that you're doing this for the wrestlers, and I hope that they continue to remember you throughout their careers. So.
Right? Because if they don't, I will hunt them down and kill them. No, I'm just kidding. Maybe.
Yeah. Might have to take on the hit maker Rampage Santana with that one.
Like,
So.
I know where you live and I've seen where you sleep.
Don't come back or I will.
That's what the
Yeah.
girl yells at when they're on Tommy Boy, when they're in the boat and those little kids
Oh, yeah.
are giving him shit. It's like, lady, there's a fat whale on your boat. I will haunt your dreams. I know where you live and I've seen where you sleep.
Yeah, Tommy Boy, definitely a great shout out to that as well. Tommy Boy is definitely a great
Rest in
movie.
peace, Chris Farley. The coke kind of did him in, but he lived like a rock star.
Yeah. Chris Farley, definitely one of the most comedic biggest comedic celebrities out there that definitely made a mark on the movie industry. So yeah. I'll look through the comments here. Tom wanted me to shout out his show that he's got going on Wrestling Gone Wild, Friday, August 5th, live in Chisholm, Minnesota at the St. Louis County Fair. Bell time is 7 p.m. and it is free admission. So go check that out if you
go check out the champ, Santana, Montana.
Santana,
From
Montana.
Louisiana.
From Louisiana.
Yeah, he wrestles gators and can tie his shoes.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally not related to Rampage. That's a totally different guy.
But it's awesome nonetheless. I really regret that I wasn't able to make that show. And this coming up one, that's the weekend that I'll be doing the parades and all that stuff. But I will make it to a Wrestling Gone Wild because it looks like a great time.
Yeah. I don't know what the future is with that for me, but I definitely do want to check out Wrestling Gone Wild. I think Tom's doing a great thing for that area and doing a great thing for wrestling. So yeah, shout out to Tom right there. So yeah. Jesse.
I really don't have anything else.
Yeah,
I think pretty much, we did.
Yeah, we went over a lot.
Yeah.
So you guys will have to take a month and think about it, and then we'll come back and reconvene and see what we got going on. Because you never know what can happen in a month with Bullybrand, Team Bully. You never know what we're going to do or where we'll be at or who's going to be around.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to do an update with you in the future. But for anybody that's at least 5 people that are live on the Facebook page and whoever's on the Instagram right here, I believe Mr. Bullybrand has a major announcement to make on the Indie Talk with Jesse and Jeryn show of July 11th, 2022. I will give it over to you, Mr. Bullybrand.
Hey, so yeah, we have an announcement here. We're gonna do we're gonna do something here. We're going to partner here with Indie Talk, and we're gonna come out with some shirts for these guys. Now, the big part of the announcement is Jesse and Jeryn have decided that all the sales, all the money from these shirts, the proceeds, I should say, because there is a cost to make them. If you buy a shirt like this, or there we go, like this, with their mugs on it and the Indie Talk, all that money is going to go straight to the dogs. So you'll see them sporting their shirts, and after that, we'll be selling them. They'll be selling them. They're going to open up some pre-sales and whatnot. But not only are you supporting Indie Talk, not only are you supporting Jesse and Jeryn, not only are you supporting the Bullybrand, you're supporting the dogs directly, because I'm not taking any money from there. It's going directly to rehome some more dogs. So for that, gentlemen, I applaud you.
Thank you.
If anyone else does, I certainly appreciate it. It's going to be great working with you. And then, you know, as we move forward, you know, who knows what we might have for them. There might be some indie talk fucking mugs, you know, coffee mugs, or we'll do tea if we're in England, you know. But yeah, this is the mock-up. So it's gonna be the white shirt with the logo right there.
Yeah.
So you guys will be able to pick these up. If you want one, we'll do 25 just because it's going straight to the dogs. But if you want to get 2 for you, your significant other, or you and your kid, or whatever the case may be, you know, we'll do the 2 for 40s. And basically we'll take the money, we'll restock, and all the extra proceeds are going straight to the dogs. Depending on how much you, the viewers, you know, grab these shirts up, you know, we'll be doing some rehoming, but we also want to help out Project Delta too. So we'll probably donate some of that money. And if we do, because I'm completely transparent with what I do with money, because that's the way life should be, especially when you're trying to save dogs and that, or support people. You know, we'll go live and we'll do a donation or something, and that's not for clout. It's just so that you know for facts what we're doing with that money, because these guys were kind enough to lend us their image. It is help promoting them, but like, how does it go? A single act of kindness can change the world for somebody. And by you buying a t-shirt, you're going to change the life of a dog. You're going to give them a new lease on life, because our number one spot where we go to is places that we know are kill shelters, dogs that days are numbered. And it's not because they're aggressive. It's not because they're bad dogs. It's not because any specific reason. It's because they can only hold so many dogs for so long. And unfortunately, the bully breeds are the first to go.
Yep.
Sad. Yeah, definitely. I really hope this helps with all that donating to the Project Delta, the dogs, and hopefully we can save as many dogs as we can and not have their lives be numbered, because the bully breeds are definitely good breeds. They are not dangerous dogs or bullies. They're called, and I think we gotta spread the light on that as well from the Indie Talk with Jesse and Jeryn and the Bullybrand LLC. So yeah, but I think that is our big announcement. We will I will clip this and put it on the page and put some extra info and links on there. So we will be opening up the pre-sales for the Indie Talk with Jesse and Jeryn t-shirts. We got the model right there, as Bully's got on his background right there. Those are the mock-up images of what it could look like. And definitely hopefully you guys can get those, support them, definitely wear them to shows, because that's how you're gonna promote the Indie Talk and the Bully brand as well. So yeah, and I'm also hoping some of my high schooler friends can get one as well. So shout out to my friends there as well. So hopefully
buy them up.
Yep. Yeah. But yeah, I think that will conclude the Indie Talk with Jesse and Jeryn, featuring the Mr. Bullybrand from Bullybrand Clothing Company. It's been awesome talking with you. Awesome to get to know more about you, because this is your first live public appearance on a live video. So
yeah, that is a fact. The first media presence today is for you guys.
Appreciate it.
You guys do great work. You put great people on. You know, some of them not so great, but you know, that's just the show. But you know, I like what you guys do, and you know, if I can help support, you know, just getting the name out there, and you guys are helping support me by selling your images and giving it to the dogs, you know, let's rock.
Yeah.
Yeah. What we'll definitely do is as much as we can with promoting and hopefully the Bully
Yeah, and
brand.
anybody who's watching this, make sure, even if it's on the replay and you're not watching it live, share the bejesus out of this, because I don't know about you, but I think this was some good content. And the more people who see it and can understand what Team Bully and Bully Brand's all about, the better, because a lot of people just, you know, oh, bully pit bulls, blah, 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 but they don't know the reason behind it. So share the wealth, people.
Right.
Yep.
It's not all about just cowbells and stuff. So it's definitely more than that. So yeah. I mean it's a big part of like merch sales and stuff, but you gotta know the meaning to know why you're buying it as well. So yeah. But yeah, thank you, Mr. Bullybrand, for
Yeah.
being on the show, and
Yeah, thanks,
hopefully
you guys.
and hopefully we can talk in the future. So
Yeah,
Definitely.
absolutely, absolutely. There will be more episodes. Yeah, definitely, because Team Bully and Bully Brand, we're going on some adventures, and we'll tell you all about it.
Sounds good.
yeah,
All right, guys.
All
yeah.
right.
We'll see you around.
Yeah.
See ya.
Life is ending.